was just getting, yeah, thanks. I'm going to share the link here in the chat. If you want to go through these slides by yourself, please feel free to do so. And welcome everyone. Welcome to Catalyst. Welcome to Fund7. Welcome to Catalyst School. And this is the session about introduction to Catalyst. So we are going to talk about the basics of Catalyst, how it works, what are the roles that you can take here, what you can do, and what's the mechanism, and all the things you need to kickstart your time here around Catalyst. So I've shared these slides here in the chat. Feel free to access them already, and I'm also going to share my screen. Okay. Can you guys see my screen already?
Yes.
Yep. Great. So first of all, just going to talk very briefly about Catalyst School. We are a project that was created around 6 months ago because some community members realized that there was this need for us to educate new community members, because Catalyst is not a traditional funding mechanism. So you need to understand how it works. You need to understand how you can participate, both being funded to get money to run your project, or work somehow as a freelancer doing other things here, and help the community wherever you, the way you can. So we applied for funding during Fund 6, and we got several proposals. I think 5 proposals funded. So we achieved a midterm sustainability. We are going to run this now during Fund 7, Fund 8, and we have some partnerships with other community projects like the Eastern Town Hall, Catalyst Swarm, WADA, AIM, and Gimba Labs. Actually, there are some more, and you are going to know about them if you stick around. These are very interesting projects that you can interact with and participate. And as I said, the Catalyst School itself, it's a place to leverage the impact of Catalyst as a whole by introducing and improving the contribution of all its different players and roles. So this is how we introduce this project. And as you will see, the Catalyst itself, it's an ever-evolving project. Things are constantly changing here and growing and improving. And so the school itself is also doing the same. We are always including new things here, new workshops, new sessions, new ways to interact and to provide information for community members. And we do this currently through some ways. The first one is through some live sessions and workshops like this one here. We are aiming at having some sessions like this per week. For example, this is the introduction to Catalyst. There's the other session, which is mini proposals, that's going on right now, but that one is for someone who already knows about Catalyst and wants to know how to write a proposal. It's actually a hands-on workshop. We also have another workshop like this, which is a bit more explanatory than hands-on, where we explain how to propose in Catalyst, not just how to write a proposal, but all the other things involved, the timeline, things you need to do, what to do after you're funded. So these kind of things as well. So we are still preparing our schedule for Fund 7, but we are going to share it in our channels in Discord and Telegram very soon. At the end of this presentation, actually, if you've got the slides, you can already see that there are some links there for our other channels, Twitter, Discord, and Telegram. We also provide one-to-one and group support in many different languages. We started with a group of 10 people and we spoke 7 different languages. We had 7 different native speakers of 7 different native languages back then. But now we've got, I think, up to 15 or 16 different languages that we can provide support on. So if you are not too comfortable with speaking English, you can just sign up for one of these one-to-one or group support, and you can decide your topic you want to learn about, and you can pick up a language from a list there. We also got funded in Fund6 to build an educational website. We are still structuring this. This is going to have a link to all our resources, to our YouTube channel. And this is going to have some quizzes as well for you to train and practice your knowledge about Catalyst. We are also thinking about including some NFT rewards, for example, that if you are successful in these quizzes. So through this, we are introducing Project Catalyst and also educating people on how they can participate, as I said. And yeah, that's it. So let's start the presentation, the workshop itself. Since we are in a small group here today, if you have any questions, please just raise your hand or unmute yourself and just ask a question. And we are aiming at having a almost 1 hour session or less, because this has been already a very long town hall. So let's not have a 2-hour session here. Try to spend a little bit less time here. So the first question is, what is Project Catalyst? And there are many different ways to answer this question, because actually we are still learning while we are working here what Catalyst is, because it started as an innovation fund to fund projects that are somehow related to the Cardano blockchain and also to experiment with the governance. But then as more people came in here, they started realizing that there were more possibilities that they could try to experiment with Catalyst. So the first way that we could answer this question is that Catalyst is a safe environment to explore the highest potential of human collaboration. We are bringing people together. We have the resources to experiment, and we are trying to see how people can collaborate and make impactful projects based on this new technology and also on human collaboration. And it also can be seen as an innovative idea marketplace, because we are sharing ideas basically as and letting the Cardano community to vote on those that look most promising. And also, as I said, since this is also a funding mechanism, the money that is distributed, it's done through some funding rounds. Currently, they last 3 months approximately. They used to last I think 2 months, and there was some overlap between them, but now we finish one before we start the next one, and they last 3 months. So this is starting right now, and I think we are at the end of middle of November. Yeah, so 3 months from now, Fund 8 is going to start. So we are aiming at 4 funds per year right now. And the way that this money is distributed is that we've got the funding budget, which is right now $8 million for Fund7, and this money is distributed in challenges. So you could think that there is this funding budget here at the top, and then at the bottom there are different challenges that have their specific budget, and they sum up to this 8 million budget. And the funds of these challenges are not necessarily the same. As was presented today in the town hall, there are some challenges that have, for example, $200,000 budget. There are some others with 500,000. So, and also most of them are community choice. They were proposed in Fund 6, the community voted for them, and now they are available in Fund 7 for other community members to propose ideas projects and solutions there. Any questions so far? So moving on. Also, if you've got any question and you don't want to unmute yourself and ask, you can just text it in the chat here. There are some other school members, Felix, Kawi, Steve, and Marek. They're also from the Catalyst school team, and they are here also to help us.
Marek, you got a new job.
Yeah.
Let me, can I interrupt? Let me ask you one question. I wish I had this course earlier. I kind of threw myself into the process. It was funny. You said that each fund has different challenges. That is what we saw today was part of that. And then each proposal goes under a single challenge.
Yes, yes.
Okay. So, and that is, okay, but I basically took a look. I was reading like for Fund 8, there are $8 million in aid in total funding. But then I look at the total of the challenges, and they were not adding up to 8 million.
Yeah, actually, yeah, Marek.
Because 20% of total funds is going to be sent as incentives for the participation, like for the voters, community advisors, referrals, challenge teams.
Yeah, yeah. So actually, it's Fund 7 now with $8 million worth of beta, and as Marek mentioned, 20% of this goes to incentives to some different roles inside the process. We are going to talk about this, I think, a couple of slides ahead.
Sure. Sorry for interrupting.
No, no worries, no worries. So yeah, as I was mentioning, there are some different roles within Catalyst. The first one, I think the most obvious one, is the proposer, which could be an individual or a group of people that puts a proposal in Catalyst, and they could have either just a simple idea or a complete plan with all the details, the roadmap, the milestones, and the more information that there is available there, the higher the chance of being funded usually. But you can also, there are no restrictions of what you can submit in Catalyst. You can, for example, just submit an idea, and during the process, you can find other people that might cooperate with you and somehow build together your idea, or you can just submit an idea and find someone else who has a similar idea and they already have a team. So you can just merge your proposals, for example. So this is quite open, and basically everyone can be the proposer. There are no restrictions. You don't have even to hold ADA. You don't have to understand any details about Cardano or blockchain. I mean, if you are building actually something technical, it is expected that you know something, but there are actually no much restrictions, actually not restrictions at all here. You just have to sign up into the platform. Currently, we are using a platform called IDScale, and we are going to go through the platform, talk more about it at the end of the presentation here. But if you want to see it already, just jump a few slides ahead and you can check it there. And the second role is the proposer mentor. This is an informal role currently. There are some community members who are experienced either with Catalyst or with the business itself, or they are developers, or they really understand something, some area specifically, and they are volunteers who are here to help proposers on improving their chances of being funded. So they can help you on writing the proposal itself or brainstorming about your idea. For example, finding the best challenge for you to submit your idea. finding partners and basically anything you need help with, they might be able to help you. So if you are in the official Catalyst Discord, official community Catalyst Discord server, there is a tag there. You can just write @proposal mentor. You are going to ping all proposal mentors there. Maybe you can find someone to help you write in your proposal. Next one, actually there are two roles here. First one is the community advisor, which is called CA, and second one is the veteran community advisor, which is called VCA usually. And these community members are responsible for both assessing the proposals, giving them scores based on some criteria, which are impact and challenge alignment, feasibility, and auditability. And the veteran community advisors are people who have successfully been community advisors previously, and they do the quality assurance phase of this process. They are going to check if the assessments that the CAs made make sense or not, if they are fair, if they are unfair, if they are following the guidelines. And then at the end, we have a final score that is going to be used during the governance phase, during the voting phase. And also there are no restrictions here to be a CA. You don't need to have any ADA. You don't need to. Actually, you just need to sign up in ID Scale as well, as I'm going to talk about a little bit more later. And preferably, you should have a valid wallet, a valid Shelly address for you to receive your rewards at the end. You can do this for free and don't want to receive any rewards, but it's always good to be compensated to make things sustainable. And there is only one restriction to be a veteran community advisor. I almost forgot about this. Actually, the requirement to be a veteran community advisor currently is that you have to have been a successful community advisor previously. I think I said this already. Yeah.
Just recap, what means successful?
Successful is that you were not removed from the process because you didn't break the rules. Like there are some restrictions there. You cannot be offensive. You cannot be completely unfair because if you try to game the system, for example, you can just be removed. And by doing this, you are not eligible to be a VCA in the following fund. So the next role is voter role. So this is one of the roles that there is a requirement for you to be. Currently, you have to hold 500 ADA at least in your wallet, so you can register as a voter to participate in Catalyst. But this number is going lower and lower I wouldn't say every fund, but with time, because back then we had almost 10,000 ADA as a requirement for someone to participate in Catalyst as a voter. Then it got lower, I think, to 5,000, then I don't know, 2,000 and 500, something like this. And currently you just need to hold 500 ADA. And I believe that this is due to some scalability challenges that the technical team has to face when they accept a lot of more wallets participating in the process. But they are working on to get this number lower and lower. So I believe that in the future, anyone who holds any amount of ADA will be able to participate in Catalyst. The next one is the referrer, which is basically any Catalyst community member who invites someone to propose in Catalyst. For example, if you know someone who has an idea blockchain related and they need funding, you can just invite them. They are going to submit a proposal and put you in as a referrer. And if they get funded, then you're going to receive some rewards for this. And
sorry for interrupting. Is there a specific way to do that? Let's say I have a friend that has an idea and I want to suggest him to get into and make a proposal. But is there a formal way to do that?
No, not formal way, but when they are submitting their proposal in ID scale, they need to add your handle there. They need to reference you in their submission process.
Okay, because I'm thinking the time that somebody referred me to join the company I'm currently working for, he should have gotten a couple of thousand of something, and he didn't. And just because he missed the step, like I think a step like this, like referring, I did not refer him. But anyway, point is, if there was a formal way of referring the person, and if it is clear to a new joiner.
Can I answer that?
Sure.
Let me check just really quick if I can. Maybe even I will be able to share my screen. Let me just check one thing, because I archived all the challenges, but maybe I will be able to show you how does it look like.
Yes, please.
Because in my opinion, okay.
But if you think about somebody that typically is external to the ecosystem, is pushed in the ecosystem, there are high chances that he might fail some steps.
Yeah, but there's actually there's only one step for them to add you as a referrer. It's just to add your name in the submission phase in ID scale.
Yeah.
It will fall a little bit together with the role of a proposal mentor, because as you bring people into the ecosystem, you offer already a certain mentorship and guidance. And as a proposal mentor, you know about the process. So it's up to you as well, to the projects which you bring in, to remind them, yeah, hey, only thing I want, it means it's referral, nothing else. Hope your project gets through it.
Okay, can I share my screen for a second?
Sure, go on.
Just for a second. Well, which is, I hope this is correct. Can you see the idea scale submission form?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Perfect. So if even completely new proposer, completely new to the Catalyst, sees that submission form, it should be really easy to find referrers, because there is one question. Have someone referred you to become a proposer? If you answered yes, then you will see that form asking for an email of a person who referred you, and one form asking you, please, could you write some rationale? How did you refer that person to become a proposer or so? And then we are verifying everything. We are if the person is not, if the referral is not in the idea scale system, then I'm sending an email asking for other payment address, so we can send him referral rewards.
Very fair, and also very nice, because you will understand which mean the referrer used to push the proposer toward proposing.
Yeah.
Thank you.
No problem.
Yeah. So let me share my screen again. Okay, can you see it?
Yeah.
Great. So as you were mentioning, Patrick, not all the rewards go to proposals. Actually, 80% go to proposals, but 20% go to other roles as incentives for them to participate. So some of them go to CAs, some of them go to VCAs, some go to voters, and some go to referrers. For example, I don't remember exactly the numbers, but 4% are for CAs, 1% for VCAs. I don't know for voters how much is it, but the remaining sums up to the other 10%. And there are some other roles within Catalyst. As I mentioned, Catalyst is an ever-evolving project, and as it was presented today during the town hall, we are the beginning of the second Catalyst circle, which is this representing body of people from different groups from Catalyst, from Cardano Foundation, IOG, community advisors, funded proposers, stake operators, to makers and maintainers, and general ADA holders. So all of these groups come together into Catalyst Circle, and they discuss the future of governance and Catalyst, what should be improved, and what should be a priority right now, and what we should wait for example, some development to be done before we tackle something. So this is a different group that usually you have to have some experience from Catalyst itself and from Cardano. So you can apply, there are some elections, and you can be there as a representative. And this is now a compensated or incentivized role as well. The first one, Catalyst Circle, the first version was voluntary. Felix and I were there. I was representing the CAs. Felix was representing the toolmakers and maintainers. And now there's this new group of people there that are being compensated. And the idea is to use the Catalyst funds itself to do this. So every circle, not sure if this is going to be like this forever, but the current idea is that every circle is going to submit a proposal to get funding for the next circle, so this governance experiment can continue to go on. And during the first Catalyst Circle, we realized that we needed support to run things there, because it was not easy to try to tackle all the problems that we raised, and at the same time organize the meetings and take notes and manage all the information that was going on, the Discord, Telegram, the Trello board, everything. So we organized a admin team that now was funded as well through Catalyst. They had a proposal in Fund 6, and basically their role is to support, both to support the Catalyst Circle members and also provide transparency about everything that's happening to the community. So they maintain, for example, Gitbug with information. They manage the videos, they upload the videos to YouTube. They organize the elections. So they have these roles that are very important to the Catalyst Circle to do their, to deliver most of their value. And now we also have the challenge teams. This is the first time actually in Fund 7 that we are having this role. They were presented in Fund 6, so things are always evolving here. For example, challenge teams were introduced in Fund 6, and now they're happening, they're reality in Fund 7. Catalyst Circle was presented in Fund 5, and first time for them was in Fund 6. And for example, veteran community advisors were introduced in Fund 3. And well, who knows who is going to be here in Fund 8? Maybe Catalyst natives, as Chris presented today. Maybe they are going to be a different role. I don't know, but yeah. So these are the current roles that exist in Catalyst. Yeah, Felix.
I think one thing which is important to mention, as community members, you don't have to choose one role and stick to this role. You can carry several roles. Very often we see in the community, for example, we have a permissionless environment where people start as a proposer and as a community advisor. By this, they're getting in touch with the ecosystem already. They get knowledge, they get experience, and then they move on. And they become veteran community advisors. still being proposer, still being community advisor, and becoming veteran community advisor, earning again more experience, again more knowledge, then becoming Catalyst Circle members in grace of this experience and this knowledge. And you can cover as a single person every single role which exists. So you don't have to pick between one. You can say for yourself which one fits to you, which one applies to your skills, to your strength. And yes.
Yeah, what usually happens is that with time, you end up acting as a proposer and a CA and proposal mentor. It's mostly based on your own interest and your dedication, the time you have available for Catalyst, because there are a lot of things that you can do here.
For example, Victor, he is in a challenge team, he's a Catalyst Circle member. You're a voter, you're a community advisor, you're a veteran community advisor as well, you're a proposal mentor, and you're a proposer. You're a referrer as well? I think even so. But
no, never been referred. But yeah.
Amazing.
Besides that, yeah. So any other questions here about these roles? Moving on then. So let's talk about the funding rounds now. We've got different phases within each funding round, within each Catalyst cycle. And we are just starting Fund7, so you are going to see all the cycles, all the phases here in sequence. Starting tomorrow, we are going to have the insight sharing phase. And as Dora mentioned this during the town hall today, this is a week for the community to brainstorm together. So we already know what challenges are going to be there for Fund7. We can read the guidelines of these challenges, the goals, the KPIs that they are looking for, the problems that they are looking to tackle or to handle somehow. And this also happens mainly in ID scale, that same platform that we're going to see in a little bit. And you can, for example, just submit some idea there, for example, a problem that you want to see solved, or you want to tackle, but you're not sure how you're going to do this. So you just throw an idea there, a random thought, and see if there is someone else who is thinking something similar to you. So you can discuss together and maybe come up with a proposal or a team or something like this. Or that's what happens. And now in the Catalyst School as well, we are starting to create some insight sharing workshops. We are having the first one next week. We are still going to announce this, so this is firsthand here. We are going to have a depths and integrations insight sharing workshop. So we are going to bring the challenge teams. We are going to bring some blockchain developers, experts and consultants. And the idea is for everyone to discuss together and for proposers to better understand the challenge, and also to help CAs on understanding some technical terms and to improve their knowledge about these technical stuff, because there are some challenges that are very technical. You really need to understand what's going on there in the background. It's not the case for every challenge, but there are some that this is really important. So yeah, this is what this insight sharing phase is all about. It's like a community brainstorm in just a few words. So after that, this lasts 1 week. And after that, the proposal submission phase starts. So this is starting on Thursday next week. I believe it's the 18th November. And all community members have 1 week to submit their ideas or proposals in ID scale. And that's the time when they have to choose in which challenge they are going to submit. So it's, you can always withdraw your proposal later on if you want to, if you give up on your application, but you have this 1 week time window to submit it there. and it doesn't have to be complete. You can edit it later. There is a comment section there for you to interact with the community. They can provide feedback. They can ask questions to get some clarifications about your proposals. They can give some insights and ideas on how you can improve your proposal, or maybe they can point out to some other similar proposal and you might merge your idea with someone else's idea as well. So yeah, this first week is the submission phase. After that, you cannot submit anymore, but you can edit. So 1 week after that, we have the proposal refinement phase, when it's not possible anymore to submit new proposals, but you can discuss with the community in the comment section, and you can edit your proposal and make it better over time. And 1 week after that, there's this proposal finalizing week, which is also called silent week, because it's when this comment section in IDSK is closed. So it's not possible anymore for people to comment on the proposal itself. It's always possible for them to come directly to you and send a message in Discord, Telegram, for example, but the comment section in IDSK is closed. So this is the time that proposers have to wrap up their proposals, to finalize them, to do the last editing before the next phase, which is the proposal assessment by CAs. And during this phase, the community advisors, they are going to read the proposals and they are going to assess them based on 3 different criteria. The impact and challenge alignment, the feasibility of the proposal, and the auditability of the proposal. I'm not going to go into much details here about these criteria, because we've got other workshops in the school where we go into much more details about this. And there's also some documents, some guidelines that you can check if you want to. You can find them in our Discord server and very shortly in our website as well. After the assessment phase, the proposers are going to review these assessments, and they are able to flag them if they believe they are not fair, they are offensive, or they should be removed from the process for any other reason. And the proposers don't have the power to remove the assessments themselves. What they can do is to flag these assessments. So the veteran community advisors are going to check them in the next phase and read why the proposer thinks that these assessments should be removed. In this next phase, which is the assessment review by VCAs, they are going to read all the assessments, not only the assessments that were flagged by the proposers, and they are going to decide if these assessments are excellent, if they are good, or they should be filtered out. And what does it mean to be excellent or good? This is related to the rewards that the community advisors are going to receive. So this is a new mechanism that was introduced in Fund6, which aims at increasing the quality of assessments by CAs. So if you are a CA and you do an excellent assessment, you are going to receive more rewards than if you do just a good assessment. And if your assessment is not good enough, it's going to be filtered out, and you are not going to receive any rewards for these assessments, this assessment specifically, but you can still receive for other assessments. And the last one, which is the community voting. This is when all community members that hold at least 500 ADA and those who have registered for vote in the fund as well, they can decide which proposals should be funded in their opinion. And they can upvote or downvote any proposal. So you can vote in favor or against them. And there is this concept of approved proposal, which is when a proposal receives at least 15 more upvotes than downvotes. In this case, it's approved. It doesn't mean that it's funded, because the funding occurs based on the sequence, the most voted ones to the least voted ones. And we're going to talk a little bit more about this in the next slides as well. So any questions here?
I do if nobody else has.
Mhm.
Talk a lot.
Go on.
Okay. You explained the 8 phases. So these are 8 following weeks about the proposal submission. Talking with a friend of Cardano, we were putting down a technical idea. And then what I understood from him is that if I have a technical idea, I should already lay down the idea, have the idea something ready that then can be better understood by advisors. Otherwise, if you don't have a concrete technical idea, then the proposal has not enough force, let's say, especially if you are unknown by the environment. Is that correct?
Yes. You don't need to write down everything about your idea, all the background, all the explanations, but you need at least to prove that you know what you are talking about, and you are really going to solve the problem you say that you're going to solve. The more information you provide, the higher the chance that you are receiving a better score from the CAs, but they are actually really going to see what you are proposing, what are the solution, what is the solution that you are going to build, what is the project, but it's not a requirement. You can just submit an idea and say what you're going to do, but you don't need to explain in details. But if you do, it's the chance of being funded and of receiving a higher score and being funded at the end is a bit higher.
So in this case, you are talking about feasibility, correct?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Thanks. Other question about the proposal finalizing, the silent week. You said that somebody is going to rework their idea, probably based on suggestion from CAs, BCAs, that's correct? Before they assess.
I didn't get the question. You mean during
okay, sorry. The proposal life cycle is inside, submit, refine, and then there is another week that is proposal finalizing. Yeah. And then you mentioned that there is some sort of rework. And my question is, this some sort of rework of the proposal is based on the advice from CA VCAs, which then they have to assess the next week, or is based on the advice of the community?
Yeah, based on the advice of the community itself. The CAs are going to assess proposals only 1 week after that. Actually, okay, so right after the proposal finalizing phase ends, then the CAs start assessing the proposal. But you can ask for feedback for CAs earlier than that. You don't need to wait until then. If, for example, the community is not commenting in your proposal and you want some feedback, you can just go to the community advisor channel, for example, and share your proposal there and ask for some thoughts on what could be improved. Or you could ping, for example, a proposal mentor in Discord. And yeah, so far until during the proposal finalizing phase, there are no scores provided by CAs, then just comments and some feedback like this.
Yeah, I wanted to know who is going to help finalizing the proposal. You mentioned get advice, and you just said that there is some mentor, correct?
Yeah, proposal mentors. Okay. Yeah.
Thanks a lot. That was what it was I needed. Thanks.
Mm-hmm. So just out of curiosity, since Catalyst is distributing money, this money needs to come from somewhere, right? So where does the money come from in Catalyst? So I believe you know that every time that you do a transaction in Catalyst, in Cardano, you pay a small fee, which is currently around 0.17 ADA. And built in the algorithm of Cardano of the transactions, there is this 20% fee that gets 20% of the transaction fee and redirects it, sends it to a treasury. which is Catalyst Treasury, which currently holds more than $1 billion worth of ADA. And this money is distributed through these funds in Catalyst. So since we have more than $1 billion there, and we are distributing 8 million per fund, we have a long way to go, even even if we didn't add anything else here. And yeah. Any questions yet? From mine. Yeah.
Is the fee going to decrease in percentage in the future?
You mean this 20% or the transaction fee?
No. The transaction fee that's assigned to the Catalyst.
Likely, yes. Nobody knows, but it's likely that it will change over time.
It's just a parameter in the protocol that probably will be governed by the community in the future. So
yeah, because 0.17 in the future is going to be like $10,000.
And even now we have to adjust here on the slide as well, because the Catalyst funding now, as we have projects like Koti coming in, adding their own tokens as well, it also increased the treasury of Project Catalyst in this regard.
That's true. This needs to be updated here. And also about these fees, transaction fees. There's some other things like Hydra that might lower the transaction fee as well. It's not exactly the same thing as a usual Cardano transaction, but it's quicker and cheaper, and it's applicable in some cases. Yeah, George. I think you are muted. We cannot hear you. Sorry, George. I think we cannot hear you. Would you like to write down your?
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Okay, I'm sorry. I have the video off because I'm in pajamas. Sorry about this.
No worries.
And I was in another room. Now I understand that this was the room for me. It's the first time here speaking with the community. I'm very proud and enthusiastic to be here. So thank you, everyone. Nice. And I have this question because I'm about to propose, I want to propose, to submit a proposal, and I am thinking about this miscellaneous change topic. And maybe you spoke about this before, but the requested funds in US dollars are 200,000. And my question is, this value is to distribute to all projects at this topic, or this is a value for each proposal?
No, this is going to be distributed to all the projects that get voted there.
Okay, so if there is one project with that value, that project will be the only one accepted, right?
No.
If
got voted.
Yeah, if it gets voted in the first place and it asks for $2,000, actually $200,000, in theory it would be funded. Yeah, but usually when you ask for the whole money that's available in the challenge, the CAs give you a lower impact score because you are taking away the chance of other projects to be funded as well.
Of course.
And there's some statistics that show that you should ask for up to 15 or 20% of the fund money if you want to have chances of being funded. The lower that you ask for, the higher the chance of being funded. Actually, this is also related to the score that you get at the end. But Yeah.
Okay.
And I'm sharing, since you just came here, I'm sharing the slides again in the chat.
Okay. I submitted today a Catalyst's problem sensing, and my project is try to associate mental health and Cardano, and maybe I thought about this this topic, the miscellaneous challenge, but I'm not seeing another topic that I can use for. I don't know if you have any idea where I can submit my proposal
Therefore,
besides that miscellaneous challenge.
Therefore, the Catalyst School hosts also how to propose in Catalyst workshops.
Sorry, the Catalyst?
How to propose or being a proposer in Project Catalyst. They have own workshops for this, where it directly goes exactly into those questions.
Okay, I didn't understand. Sorry, I didn't understand.
Yeah, because we in the Catalyst School, we have some different workshops for some different topics.
Okay.
And what Felix was mentioning is that, for example, this one is the introduction to Catalyst workshop. Next week, we are going to have once again this workshop, but then we are going to have another one, which is how to propose in Catalyst.
Okay.
So we are going to give more details for people who wants to learn how to submit proposals.
Okay. Thank you very much.
George, I submitted a proposal in Fund7 in Community Hubs called Homeless Hub. I put the link in the chat. And I'm interested in your proposal if it's dealing with mental health issues. My proposal is about engaging with the homeless community in Manchester, in London, in the United Kingdom.
Okay.
And obviously, so that, just to reassure you, there's a lot of different sorts of proposals, you know, with different social engagements, you know, looking at, you know, so don't feel that your proposal's out of place. There's a lot of innovation that we can do in terms of, you know, social justice proposals, you know, looking at mental health, looking at homelessness issues, you know, so there's a lot of innovation can be brought to that subject as well.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. I'm going to take a look at it.
Okay. Thank you.
Great. Thanks, George. Thanks, Stephen. Okay, so talking about the voting process itself now. In Catalyst, we've got this concept, which is called the voting power. Not sure if you've heard about it already, but what does it mean? The voting power is the weight of your vote. So currently, not everyone has have the same voting power, and this is directly proportional to the amount of ADA that you hold. So, for example, if you've got 5,000 ADA and someone else has 10,000 ADA, their voting power is 2 times your voting power. So this is something that the community have been discussing a lot, because at first it doesn't seem fair to have some people having more voting power than others. But this is the way that both IOG and the community found to kickstart with Catalyst until we come up with a different way to measure the voting power of different people. Because by doing this, at least you are giving more voting power to people who have more skin in the game. They have more money invested in Cardano, so they really expect the ecosystem to flourish. And since they have a lot of voting power, they're not going to like downvote things that are going to be beneficial for the ecosystem. In the other hand, it's not something very democratic, because in this way some people argue that you could like keep the powers in the hands of the same people as they've always been. But as I mentioned, there are some ups and downs for this. It also, this way we avoid some Sybil attack, which is like a lot of people just coming here creating wallets and bots and like downvoting and everything, and they could try to break up the catalyst system somehow. So this also avoids this kind of situation. But I believe that in the future, we are going to come up with solutions for this, especially now with the decentralized and distributed identifiers, the DIDs at Prism. Not sure if you know about this, but you are going to hear about this. I'm sure about it. And yeah, that's the way it currently we currently have to determine someone's voting power in Catalyst. Any questions here? Nope. So let's move on. So how does the voting? Yeah, George.
No, I was sorry. I was remembering that at Fund7, I made some hundreds of votes, I think, a lot of them. And I think what that was a reward for that, for for those votes. Maybe I did something wrong, but I don't know if I have to ask for them or something. I didn't receive nothing. I don't know if maybe I did something wrong.
No, actually they come together with your staking rewards. So it's not so apparent. It's not like a different transaction. So you don't see them like just dropping in your wallet like other rewards.
Okay.
If you take a look at your address in Cardano Scan, in the bottom part of the page, you can see a tab that is named Instantaneous Rewards, and these are the rewards coming from the voting process.
Okay, I didn't do nothing wrong, so okay. Yeah. Thank you very much.
Yeah. So how does the voting system work? As I was saying, that voters can vote for or against proposals, so they can upvote or downvote, and they can do this for all different proposals. There's you don't like spend your voting power if you vote for one. You can use the same vote power to vote for one and for the other one and vote for and against. You don't like spend when you choose to vote for one proposal. So you can vote for just one or vote for all of them. It doesn't affect your voting power in any way. So what happens is that all the proposals in the same challenge, they are ranked by the net vote. What does it mean? It's the upvotes minus the downvotes. And this net is used to rank them from the first one to the last one within the same challenge. So proposals in different challenges are not competing with each other. They're just competing within the same challenge. And after they get ranked, they are funded in this following this sequence. So the one that was that got first place, this one is being funded, and its budget is decreased. I mean, the challenge budget is decreased by the amount of funding requested by the first one, and then the second one is going to be funded by the remaining funds after that. I'm going to show some numbers here, so it's going to be easier to understand. Yeah, so let me open here the Fund6 results to show you in practice how it works. Yeah, so for example, here you can see different challenges. The first one being developer ecosystem. You can see the number of upvotes, number of downvotes, how many unique wallets participated in this voting process, actually how many voted for this proposal. This is summing up upvotes and downvotes. And so these were the first one, this is the second one, third one, and you have all of these for all different challenges. We're still in developer ecosystem, but then, for example, dApps and integrations here, same thing. Let me check something here. Yeah, okay. So at first here in the first pages of this document, you just see the funded proposals, but if you go down a little bit more, you're going to have a little bit more details. For example, here in developer ecosystem, this was the most voted proposal, software as a service for Cardano, and it requested $60,000. And the total funding available in this challenge was 1,005,080. So after this one got funded, then the remaining funds were $945,000. And then the second one is funded, third one is funded, and so on, until we get to a point. For example, here we've got, after this proposal here was funded, then the remaining funds were $28,850. And the next one in the list asked for $115,700. And there was not enough funding here for this to be funded. So it was skipped. The next one, same thing, the other one, same thing. But the next three ones here were funded in a row. But then there were no more funding to fund any other proposals here. So yeah, and actually these were approved, so but they were not funded, and this one here, those ones here, they were not approved. As I mentioned, there is this threshold where you need to have at least 15% more upvotes, yes votes, than no votes, and in this case it was not the case. So these proposals here were not approved by the committee. So even if there was some budget available, they were not going to receive anything. And the same happened for all other challenges as well, dApps and integrations. Yeah.
There we come again to the point as well, for example, George, where you asked before as well for the budget. That's really important also to adjust your budget to also fit, for example, to the algorithm, and maybe say also, hey, don't calculate your proposal to say, okay, I need 100,000 now. Do you really need 100,000 for your project now? Maybe break it down, because you know in 3 months the next fund starts. So just apply for a bit and apply again for a bit the next funding round, and again a bit for in the next funding round. Therefore, you get a much better chance to receive fundings, instead of saying, yeah, I need 150,000 right now.
Yeah. Nori.
I just wanted to add on to that. Since we're all voting for a community pool of money, it's kind of unfriendly to ask for 50% or all of it. So please recognize that there's a lot of proposers trying to get a lot of vision and passion funded. So I really frown on proposals that take more than half. So I actively downvote anything that takes more than half, just out of principle, because I don't want to support projects that seem like greedy or not friendly. So I don't know if there's any kind of culture around that, but that's kind of the stance I took last time, because I just saw so many, not so many, but I saw a number of proposals that were taking half or more, and especially in the larger funds, and that just seemed a little crazy to me. So I just wanted to throw that out there as an addition to what Felix just mentioned. I think if you focus on like no more than 15% of a fund, that's probably a good place. And if that's not enough to fund your projects, then get creative and figure out how you can do it with only 15% of the budget there. And then you can allow other projects to have their space as well.
Yeah. And responding to your question here in the chat, Nori, yes, it's the difference between yes and no's that determine the rank.
Okay, so the CA ranking has no bearing on where you fall on that list. It's just kind of a voter help.
Yeah, the voters, they just get some advice if they want to from the CA's assessments, but they don't need necessarily to follow them. They can, for example, downvote a 5 stars proposal, and they can upvote a 1-star proposal. It's at the end, it's all about what the voters prefer to be funded.
Okay.
It's not really true, because the most of the voters get indicated by the star ranking from the CAs. Most of the voters vote on high star rankings. So
yeah, but it's their decision to follow the ranks or not. They can. It is most voters, they prefer to follow the CAs. They don't really read all the proposals, but in theory they could decide by themselves. Yeah, there is a strong correlation between the CA scores and the funded proposals. There are some charts here. Maybe I can open them to show in a bit, but yeah, Patrick. Yeah, you are muted.
Pardon me. Following Nori's idea that is, okay, no project asking how the budget shall pass, and the project should use carefully the funds, should ask carefully for the funds. I'm asking to myself, what about continuity? Let's say that I have in mind a project that probably needs, I don't know, 200,000 USD to have to be built, and I can imagine that this project shall be built, let's say, in a year, which makes about, I don't know, 6-7 funding rounds. So I could think, well, let's say, I don't know, $100,000, and then let's say I split the project in, I don't know, 5. My idea is to split the project in 5 different sub-projects, 1 for each fund. Is this that? I think this is feasible as long as I get voted, but I don't know if my project will fit under a challenge that still exists.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So basically, the question mark is, will this challenge still be active? For instance, I saw that this funding, there was like the open source challenge.
Mm-hmm.
And let's say I want to submit a proposal. I won't, but let's say I want to submit a proposal. And but my proposal is kind of ambitious, and I start to make a small chunk of the proposal, and then I think to make another proposal next fund, another proposal next fund. What should I do?
it's exactly what this catalyst is made for. When you look on this in the system, for example, there are a lot of projects which are born out of Catalyst, and they need to sustain. They create teams, they create strategies and everything. But how can you sustain if you know in 3 months, none of the existing challenges in which you actually submitted your proposals are still existing, because nobody knows which challenges get voted. And this is exactly the beauty of Catalyst. It forces you to become extremely creative, extremely adjustable, and extremely adaptable. And your project will just survive if you are adjustable, adaptable, and extremely creative to whatever happens in the ecosystem.
Yeah.
And when
Sorry.
And creating a project on this main pillars by itself creates already a certain strength for the project itself.
Sounds great.
I would add also, sorry, Victor. I would add also that you can get involved in the challenge, in proposing the challenge you are in for the next fund, because and you can promote it, because it's maybe it's in your interest that this challenge will be in the next fund. So you can have an active role in promoting it to the voters, to just have this challenge in the next fund for your project to continue.
Yeah, and talking about breaking down your proposal in smaller ones, you can do this if it makes sense. For example, if you break it down in 5 different proposals, each of them separately should be a complete project somehow, because it doesn't necessarily has to be, but if it's not like that, then you're probably not going to receive a high score from CAs, and probably voters are not going to vote for you. And you can think about breaking it down and submitting in different challenges. For example, if your challenge has some NFT scope, if it has some open source scope, if it has some, I don't know, DID scope, you can put it in different challenges as well.
In increments, like I would do for an agile project.
Yeah, yes. You need to also map the risk of not being funded for some of them and what you would do in that case. Because if some of these proposals if one of them is essential for your project to be successful, then you need this money somehow. You need to do this somehow. So you need to map this and try to understand the risks of doing this as well.
Super. Really clear, thanks.
And also map the risk of getting funded for everything, because then you have to deliver everything. It's really important.
Definitely, really important part, yes. Because you are not, when voted and funded, you are not funded to submit your proposal. You will be funded to execute your proposal, and you have to report on the achievements, on the progress, and you are accountable as well as you receive treasury fundings.
Yeah.
So throw it out there that Catalyst is kind of if you think about it from traditional venture capital, it's kind of a seed or an angel round or an incubator kind of thing. And it's not designed to take a company all the way to a successful project if you're of any kind of scale. So we do have other things like the Emergo $100 million fund or Catalyst Natives or other things coming online that should help established projects go beyond Catalyst, because I think you can outgrow Catalyst as well and just be too big for the proposal sizes and the things that are happening. If you get too big for Catalyst and you find yourself having 10 proposals just to cover all of your project costs, then you probably should be looking at the next level. And I think those are starting to more and more come online now.
Thanks.
Yeah, so I think this one is our last slide, and it's about ID scale that we've been talking about for a while right now. And so what is ID scale after all? ID scale is the website, the platform that Catalyst uses today. It's a third-party platform. ID scale, it's its own. They are a company. They have partnerships with different projects, and they have currently this partnership with Catalyst. And it is the platform that we use to submit the proposals, to do the insight sharing phase, to comment on proposals. It's also where the CAs assess the proposals and where the results are published after. Not only there, they are published in Telegram and Discord and some other channels, but they are archived there. So you can access ID scale and check all the results since Fund 1, for example. And yeah, so also all the information that is there is checked by IOG. So this is not a community-made platform as most of the other platforms that we have. So all the information that's there is checked by them, and you can also, always talk to the community to better understand them, or directly to IOG. And there is a link here if you want to access. I'm going to open it here to show you as well. Yeah, so this is famous or infamous ID scale. And it has some explanations about Catalyst here and the active campaigns. Right now, we only have one active campaign, which is Project Catalyst Problem Sensing. This is not a campaign itself, it's just a place where people brainstorm about how, what things need to be improved within Catalyst. But we can see, I'm going to open here, there is a archive section actually here, where you can see all the other archived campaigns. You can see all the other challenges that were available in previous funds. For example, Fund 6, you had all these challenges here. In Fund 5, all of these. Fund 4, Fund 3, and previous funds 1 and 2. There's some information here as well. But you can see how fast this is growing. Fund 3, we had only 3 challenges. Fund 4, 7. Fund 5, 9, and then this is around 20, and now we are going to have more than 20 challenges in Fund 7. And if you click in any of them, you can see the challenge brief, which is there is here the guiding question of this challenge. For example, for the developer ecosystem challenge. How can we create a positive developer experience that helps the developer focus on building successful apps? And some more details about it, how success looks like to a proposal, actually to this challenge to be successful, what needs to happen, what are the key metrics to be measured for this challenge as well, some guided questions for proposers who want to submit a proposal here, some potential directives for someone who wants to do something, but they are not sure exactly, or they want to have some insight to come up with something. The different phases that we've talked about already. And if you click here, you can see all the proposals that were submitted in this challenge. Yeah, so you can see all of them here, and I'm just going to open one of them. For example, this one, no-code smart contracts. If you open a proposal, you can see the proposer, you can see the problem statement, the solution to the problem that is proposed by the proposer, the relevant experience of the proposer, which is basically why you should believe that he's capable of delivering this proposal, he's capable of building this, and a detailed plan talking about the proposal itself.
There, one thing, the detailed plan, and then we have the not required.
Yeah, this is going to be removed.
Imagine the not required is not there. It's absolutely required. There, you map down your whole proposal, everything what it is about. Forget about the not required.
And yeah. Not required will be removed in Fund 7, so don't worry about that.
Yeah. And for example, this proposal, they wrote down an introduction, then some more information about the project, some information about the team, the development, some hackathons that they want to do, some more information about them. And yeah, so you can see you can attach videos. At the end, you can add some pictures as well, some other links to social media, for example. Some budget explanation here. It's also almost always very important to explain how you're going to spend the funding money. And at the end, you need to input the amount of funds that you are going to request. This is added in USD, in dollars, but at the end, you are going to receive in ADA, and using the exchange rate of the payment, the payday at the end. And yeah, so as I mentioned, this is the comment section where the community can interact with you. They can provide feedback. They can ask some questions. You, as a proposer yourself, you can just write something down here if you want to complement something in your proposal, or if you want to start a conversation with the community, you can just go there and ask something. For example, in this case, this community member said, maybe you should compare your project to Merlowing. And the proposer just, yeah, thanks, I added a comparison. So this is an example of good feedback that helped to improve the proposal. In this activity tab, you can see where this proposal is in the catalyst cycle, which is actually now in the governance phase. We've been already through the voting phase, and now we are distributing the rewards, so it's still in governance phase. And there's this other tab here for attachments. In this case, it only added one picture here. And also here in ID scale, you can just click on results. As I said, you can check the results from all previous funding rounds, from funding 1 to fund 6. So for example, for funding 1, there was this document. Fund 1 was a mock-up fund. None of these proposals were actually funded. It was just to test the mechanism. So you had all these proposals here, and in fund 2. Yeah, so this was the first real funding cycle. You can see who got funded, who didn't get funded. For example, Liquid, which is currently a famous project in the Cardano community, they got funded here in Fund 2. Also, afterwards, they got funded in other funds as well, but this was the first one where they got funded. And yeah, you can just see the same thing for all other funds. And any questions here about ID scale? No. So I think that's it, guys. Thanks for being here for this introduction to Catalyst session. There are some links here, so you can join us on Discord, Telegram, and also send us an email if you want to. And just get in touch. As I said, we are going to have more workshops. We're going to talk about different topics, different subjects. We are going to create we are creating this website. We're going to share it with the community very soon. And we also have those one-to-one multi-language support sessions that I've mentioned. So stay tuned, and you're going to see some new announcements from us very soon. Thank you. Yep. Yes, Patrick.
Sorry. You mentioned while you were talking about the proposal assessment that there are workshops, and we will find all the links to the information about the proposal assessment, etc., in your Discord server. Is there a central place, or in a decentralized way, a central resource from which I can start and find all the documentation?
This central place is currently being built. It's going to be our website. We just got funded in Fund 6 to build this up. So for now, you can access our Discord server, for example. There are some guidelines there. There are some, for example, different channels for proposers, for people who want to be community advisor, veteran community advisor, they want to be in challenge teams. You can ask for them there, but there's no central place currently where you can just go click. Actually, there are two communities websites. Let me just share the links here. Currently they don't have all the information, all the education information, but they already have a lot. This is the first one.
Faster.
And this is the second one. Yeah. So you can find some guidelines there. You can find some documents about Catalyst. But we are building this Catalyst School website where we're going to add in a single place all these educational resources. We also have a YouTube channel. Let me find the link here. Where you can find the recordings of the sessions from previous funds. and Simon was faster than me this time. Yeah. And yeah, and Marek just shared here AdaGov as well, which is also a very good community-made resource that you can learn about Catalyst there, and they go a little bit more deeper. And yeah, now there are many resources here in the chat.
Yeah, I'm just so sorry. Didn't want to interrupt.
No, don't worry. It's good then, because since we are in this decentralized ecosystem, anyone who wants to can build their own website, giving their own perspective, and this is good because we have the same information, but with different formats, and different people prefer different ways of learning and doing things. And yeah, so there's this whole network of websites today.
Yeah, and the best thing is you can basically, every website is pointing to the another one, because if you go to the AdaGov, you have there a link, check out the welcome page, and then you will be redirected to cardanocatalyst.io. If you get info on the landing page, you will be redirected to cardanocataly.st. So yeah, this is great cooperation.
Welcome to the journey. It might be overwhelming. You might be lost from time to time, maybe. So prepare for the long run. But yeah.
And when you feel lost, it's the time to make your own website for the documentation.
No! And one really good thing is as well to come to the downloads, meet the community, connect, find nice people. Because this is very much happening in here in this community. Here we have a decentralized, let's say, network of informations, which might be sometimes a little bit overwhelming. So relations between the community help a lot. Everybody knows a little. By staying in touch with people, you learn much more than by YouTube channels or websites or whatnot. So yeah, count on the community as well. There are a lot of skilled people who are ready to help you.
Yes. So that's all, folks. Thank you once again. Welcome to Catalyst. I hope to see you guys around. Please join us on Discord, Telegram. We are going to share, as I mentioned, more things are coming, more events, more workshops, more sessions. And yes, thanks again for being here, and we see each other around.
Thank you, Victor.
Thanks, Victor. Thanks, everybody.
See you tomorrow morning.
Yeah. Talk tomorrow.
Let me know. Very good. Thank you so much, guys.
Thanks.